Hello. In front of us is a persona development presentation, and it's just a few slides. It's to give you a little bit of an overview on the extra credit opportunity that you have and to walk you through a couple of sample personas. So the personas that you're going to see in this presentation are ones that I did for an investment client. So they focus in on two individuals at different life stages who, and you'll see here, one is a gentleman who's in his mid-40s, and the other one is a young man who is just finishing up college and hoping to embark on a new career. They're in very different life stages, and they have very different needs as a result of their life stage and their age. One was the primary target for my client, and the other is a secondary target. So your assignment, you only need to craft one strong persona for your the main target audience member that you have. So once again, just one, and you're going to focus in on your client's business. So the industry that you've already researched and the customer insights that you've already gathered on that target audience member is what you're going to use to inform the persona that you create. So you're going to use behavioral data that it's going to be informed by your primary and your secondary research. This is how people behave that are shopping for the product that you're focused on, maybe your client star product. How do people determine where they shop? So for example, the pet food store example that we've used, how do people determine what pet store they want to go to? What are some of the barriers to engaging with that store, and some of the barriers to actually purchasing that product. So I've put these slides up on Moodle as well so that you can, jot notes if you'd like to do that. So once again, I focused on financial services because that was the industry that I was working with. So you're going to want to focus in on the industry that you've already been spending time with for your IMC product and the target audience member, the primary target audience member that you've already come to know. So, so an example here in the top area, you walk us through, you introduce us to the person that you're creating. So Steve Miller, he's 44 years old, he's married, he's a father of 4 young children. What makes this a strong header is you get a feel for how old he is and where his life stage is. So, people, if we just put 44 years old, that wouldn't be as telling as adding that life stage or a little bit about where he is in his life. Because a 44-year-old could be a grandparent already and be an empty nester, or could still be single. So, so it's really important that we know that that there's 4 children and there's a spouse, because his financial needs and the ability he has to invest is going to be very different from somebody who's yet looking for their career, or somebody who is already in retirement, or even somebody who is a high income earner who no longer has children in the household and college is already paid for. So that's what makes the headlining strong. So you're going to want to make sure you've kind of got the age, you've got the person, and where they are in their life stage. So a little bit of an overview. He and his wife Lori, they're raising their children in the suburbs of Detroit. Steve holds a senior management role in the construction industry. His wife Lori's an elementary school teacher, so we know it's a dual income, that household, which means that there's going to likely have a higher household income than somebody that was the father of 4, married, and had a stay-at-home spouse. Steve is considered the family's primary breadwinner. He is a routine investor, so we know that he's investing on a regular basis, so he'd be familiar with investing. Yet the demands of his young family make it difficult for him to stay abreast of financial trends and to invest like he did in his single days. So, so he's got all these other responsibilities here to pay for. He would have a mortgage or rent. He's got kids to at least feed today, and we'll talk a little bit about where he's going down here. So this is an ongoing concern for him. That he's not investing the way he used to be, given his financial responsibilities are all the greater. So, so he'd love to be investing the way he once did, and that's sort of a difficulty for him. And that's something that if the client, the financial services company here, would be able to address that and ease his fears, likely he would become very loyal to them, and it would be a two-way street where they could work together. So the profile information is the demographic information that you've already to know. So marital status, life stage, household income. Household income is overall, so it's not just his income, but combined what he and Lori make, or even if there's other family members that contribute. Education is a pretty telling indicator too of kind of long-term success. And then geography. The suburbs of Detroit are going to be a lot more affordable than the suburbs of Chicago or the suburbs of New York. So that's going to give us an idea that he probably can invest a lot more, making $175,000 than a father of four could in New York City. Okay, so investment habits, and this is going to be very important because it's going to allow us to really address him specifically, and to know, one, to be prepared talking to him, but to know the kind of tools and things that we can do to help him to engage with us, with our business all the more. So he's been an active yet a conservative investor over 20 years, so we'd know that if we built a loyal following with him and messaged him that we have long-term programs, he would be interested in that. He contributes with his employer's 401k plan, so we know that he probably would not want to invest 100% with our organization, because he would get a matching contribution in many cases with his employer, and so we know that it's just partial investment with us. In this case, though, Steve's employer stopped matching employee contributions. So in 2008, a lot of companies did that, so they could save some money. So we know that he might be willing in this case to roll that money over. So that would be an opportunity for us. He opened up a Michigan 529 plans for his children, and he's been investing money for them when he can. And he and Lori have no-load mutual funds in addition to Steve's retirement plan. He keeps track of the family's investments via a basic spreadsheet that he prepared on their home computer. So he's doing the tracking himself. So we know that potentially he'd be interested in tracking tools from a financial services company. We know that his company has stopped the matching contribution, so maybe he'd be willing to roll over with us. He's currently investing in programs for his kids, so we might want to talk to him kind of about balancing those opportunities. And then unmet needs and barriers to purchase. Steve's alarmed by the Outlook online calculators point for his family's financial future. So a lot of financial services companies will have these calculators on their website that you put in how much you're making now, how much you want when you retire, how much, when you plan on retiring, and how much you need to make between today and retirement to kind of meet those goals. If you've played around on those before, they can be really scary, and you think, oh my gosh, I'm going to be, living underneath an overpass. So you're never really sure how much you need, but there are nice signposts, and some online calculators will give you some guidance, but it would be really nice to have somebody that's going to tell you that you're doing the right thing. So in his case, he would probably like somebody face-to-face to sit down with for this confirmation. So where he's really getting advice from a human being that he gets to know. He hears that some of the big advice that people that are in their 40s are receiving now is, instead of investing in your children's college tuition, that you should really be making sure that you are fully funding your retirement, because students can get loans for college and they have a long time to pay that off, whereas you can't get a loan for retirement. So he's heard that advice, but he finds it unsettling. He wants the best for his children, and he finds it a bit irresponsible, since he brought these kids into the world and really wants to support their education moving forward. So he would like to, he'd be open to talking to somebody about that, and how does he manage all these responsibilities. So the second page of the persona, then, you get to know the person up here, and the second page that you do in a persona is applying that then to how do we speak to this person, where do we speak to them, and how do we speak to them. So what are the brands that they're likely to embrace? So he is not an Armani kind of a guy. He's got 4 kids. He works in construction. He likes his vacations are centered around the kids, so Great Wolf Lodge. He's not Starbucks. He does a drive-through at the Dunkin' Donuts if he doesn't have time, for coffee that Lori throws in a Keurig. He wears Carhartt. He drives a Ford F-150. He's a truck guy. His sweatshirts on the weekend are Champion. Media. He does have an iPad. He listens to the evening news when he gets home. It's on when he and Lori are making dinner for the kids. He likes The Amazing Race because of the adventure of it, and it's somewhat child friendly, so he is comfortable having that on in the household. And he loves Monday Night Football. He had been a football player at one time, so he embraces sports, although he isn't doing it himself now. So his behavioral insights, though, is most of the stuff is centered around his kids. So he's playing with his son with toys for toddlers. Still, he's doing the daddy-daughter dance with the older ones. He's mowing the lawn himself. He's fertilizing the lawn himself. He's not paying for that kind of help. He has a college education, so he does follow college football. And he had grown up sailing and likes the outdoors and gets out when he can because this is something that is family friendly. He likes the old. He likes listening to music, and it tends to be the Beatles and Kiss and kind of the old style rock and roll. The technology that he embraces, they have WOW, which tends to be one of the most economical of the cable programs. They have Wii for the kids. Lori's using Wii Fit. He was given his iPad for business. He plays around with it a little bit, and he's an Android user. He likes just the very basics with technology, but he is open to moving forward with it. So the joy of having two personas in a business is that you are able to then to look at the differences between the people and your target audiences. So the second one that I had for my client was Jacob. He's a 22-year-old single university student. He's currently a full-time student. He's finishing up at the University of Minnesota, so he's a Midwesterner. He works part-time, so he's bringing in a little bit of money. When he's not studying, he likes hanging out with his friends. He plays video games. He listens to music, particularly leans towards country and rock, and he eats out at least once per week and frequents local coffee shops. Profile information. He's single. He's a college student. Income is less than $5,000. University or rent-free. Education. He's in his final semester, so he's getting ready to start bringing in more money and getting that full-time job. And he's originally from Iowa, and he's going to school in Minneapolis. So it's a much more affordable place for living. So investment habits, paying for his college, and he will have student loans. He's not paying for rent right now. He has tuition and student loans that he will be working with. He's purchasing a vehicle, so he does have expenses. He's trying to build up his savings, but finds it difficult while he's in school, so it's very hard for him to invest the way that even Steve can. He recently began investing, though, with Acorn, an app on his iPhone 6, so we know that he's embracing technology and purchasing the latest phones. Acorn allows you, when you pay for things, the spare change then goes into an account, and so you start to watch your change accumulate, which is fun, and he kind of enjoys that. He knows, though, that it's not he's not going to be able to save the way he could with a 401k. Unmet needs and really getting a feel for where we have opportunities as a business with him is that he's working on landing a great job. He doesn't have one yet, and he's hoping to launch a successful career. So we know long-term he'll probably be a good person for us to work with. We need to embrace right now, though, that he doesn't have the investment power that others do. He's hoping to land a job with a company that has a 401k. So we want to get in with him very quickly, allow him some opportunities as somebody that's not making a lot of money right now to invest with us, so long-term he would have opportunities. He desires advice on becoming financially stable and not just paying all his bills each month. So he wants to, obviously, he has an interest in investing and he's open to advice. So starting with him at the beginning as he's graduating from college is a great opportunity for us. He wants to be able to see all of his gains on his mobile devices. So he is different from Steve. Steve would love to be able to sit down with somebody and to get advice and to be told he's doing the right thing and to be able to talk about his needs with his kids. Jacob has really embraced technology, and he would just love to be able to get that right from his mobile device. Sitting down with people, he really doesn't have as much interest in. So behavioral insights, he loves, college sports. He loves country. He's listening, he's watching television, on Netflix and other tools, not the way that Steve does from the sofa, kind of his feet up and the flat screen. He's watching things digitally. He has his brands, Microsoft, Target, Pepsi, Sony. Media, Fox 9, a local, so the benefit here is that it's a local affiliate, but he's not sitting and watching the traditional news the way that Steve would. He would be getting that on his phone. He's spending time with Career Builder so that he knows the opportunities are out there for him, and he's engaging with social media, whereas Steve just doesn't have the time for that. He is going to be embracing that. And his technology, so instead of the traditional radio, he's embraced Pandora. He's watching videos on YouTube. He is more of a Samsung guy than an iPhone guy. He does have some Apple products, though, and he has a Wii and embraces the Google technology. So hopefully you kind of get a nice overview on the personas, and feel free to reach out to me as you start to craft yours, and I look forward to seeing your pieces. Take care. Bye-bye.